Good morning, all. We set aside this time for brief announcements that will be of interest to our community and friends. Please be succinct when announcing upcoming events or updates. If you have an announcement, please line up on the ramp or aisle here, or raise your Zoom hand, and when Randy or I call on you, come up to the podium or unmute yourself and then speak. Dolores.
So tomorrow is women's group at 1:30 here in the sanctuary. The next one is I have a survey for you all to take. Okay, so it's the lunch bunch, right? So we want to do, the hospitality committee said, okay, let's do a lunch bunch, which is like once a week, and then we'll pick a day, and at noon, we'll bring your own lunch, and we'll just come and commune and talk for an hour, and then you go home. Okay, nothing's set up, no table, no nothing. You brown bag it, BYOL, bring your own lunch. So if we did that, I'm going to say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm going to ask that. You tell me what day would be the best for you if you could make it. I'm leaving Monday off because everybody goes to the doctor on Monday. Okay, so it's like, okay, who would do it Tuesday at noon? Raise your hand. Okay, we got a couple there. Okay, Wednesday? Okay, about the same, a little more. Okay, and Thursday? Okay, and Friday? Fridays. Okay, all about the same. So whatever day.
Said Friday.
What'd you say?
Kathleen said Friday. She raised her hand.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so Friday. Good. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll let you know when that starts, probably next month. Also, we have new pamphlets in the.
For you.
Thank you. Whatever that's called, in that front room. Okay, and here's the names of them. I would request that you all read them by the end of the year, right? And they're short. You know how the pamphlets are, okay? And these are the worship in UU congregations, the new edition, environmental justice, covenant, pluralism, transformation, addiction and your faith community, faith home for elders and caregivers. I don't know who they're talking about. Okay, journey to belonging, and making a home in Unitarian Universalism. And this one, I recommend everybody read this one. Beyond Diversity pamphlet, which says Beyond Diversity, calling white Unitarian Universalists to the work of dismantling white supremacy in our faith. So read them out there, bring them back so that other people can read them. We've only got 25 of them, okay, so far. Okay.
Are they from the UUA?
Oh yeah, they look like this.
Interesting.
UUA, yeah.
Thank you, Dolores.
Bunch of new stuff, yeah.
Thank you, Dolores.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Okay, this is just a little advance notice. If anybody's interested, Randy, Mary, myself, and Treva will be camping out at Washburn next Sunday. And if anybody is curious to see the rigs we're going to drag across to South Dakota this summer, we will have our little trailers there. And we invite you all to come out, enjoy some community, some food. Maybe we'll go on a little walk. Yeah, more details to follow, because anything else? Contact me, apparently. Okay.
Morning, everybody. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we'll have the customary men's group. We will also have the uncustomary no Zoom participation, because unfortunately our technical guy, Andy, is gone, and the rest of us are all thumbs when it comes to that. So if you care to join us at 10, we look forward to seeing you.
I have an announcement for all UUCC members and friends. Please join us on July 12th, Sunday, after the service for a UUCC covenant meeting. The meeting will start at 12:15 and go on for about 90 minutes. Please bring an appetizer to share for right after the service, so nobody will starve, and before the covenant meeting begins. We need your input on shaping our future. We're asking you for your thoughts and ideas regarding how you experience the church and in what direction you would like to see the church going, including programs or activities that you would like to see happen here. This is the place to express your feelings and be heard. Any questions? Email me. Looking forward to seeing you there. Next week, Maria Rao will host Scholarship Sunday, when we will celebrate the high school senior recipients of our scholarship awards. We are all a part of this beautiful web of existence with a goal of peace, justice, and liberty. We affirm the worth and dignity of every person with compassion and equality. We encourage and accept one another in our spiritual growth here on earth, with freedom in our search for truth and meaning. We are all a part of this beautiful web of existence. Words by Jill Knight, written for RUUCC. Maria Rao will light the chalice here in the sanctuary, and those of you at home are invited to invite your own chalice now. Whenever we light a chalice, we are connected with Unitarian Universalists around the world who share this ritual of our faith. Whenever we gather on Sunday mornings in Cambria, whether Zoom or in our own sanctuary, we are connected through the lighting ceremony that speaks to our presence with one another and our own inner being. We are not isolated, but connected in mystery and miracle. Before we sing the first hymn, let me remind our remote participants to leave yourselves muted. However, we want you and whoever's with you to sing with us as big and loud as you like. Make it a joyous experience. And please stand now in body and spirit and sing the opening hymn, Come With Me, by Penny Blake. morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist community of Cambria. We are glad you have joined us today. Our UUCC sanctuary sits on land that indigenous peoples, primarily the Salinan tribe, historically inhabited. We honor their contribution to this region and give thanks for the opportunity to gather in faith on their unceded territory. Let us respect their legacy and protect their history as we occupy this sacred space. As Unitarian Universalists, we celebrate religious diversity and welcome all who journey in search of faith and spirituality. The UUCC is a lay-led congregation run by the democratic process. We invite speakers from different religious traditions and spiritual or scientific backgrounds, as well as community leaders to speak at our pulpit. We encourage presentations covering a variety of topics and areas of interest that connect us with the UU7 principles and 6 values: equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, justice, and interdependence, with love at the center. Today's service centers around love. It is our common theological core and illuminates our deepest commitments to each other. My name is Diane DeMarco, and I am your worship associate for this morning's service. We extend a special welcome to today. Do we have any guests or visitors? We're glad you joined us this morning. If you wish, please introduce yourself or a guest.
Hi, I'm Jim. I'm visiting from Los Angeles.
Welcome. Welcome, Jim. If you are not on the mailing list, please visit the UUCC website at uuccambria.org so we can keep you informed about all of our activities. Members and friends, please check out the UUCC newsletter sent to you every week. This is a great way to keep up to date with our latest news. To see this or any past Zoom services, recordings can be found on the UUCC website. So again, good morning and welcome to everyone. The affirmation is both a recognition of the nature of this community as well as a promise to which we aspire. Let us now recite the UUCC affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help one another. Now is the time for sharing your heartfelt joys and concerns with this, your spiritual community. The collective flames of these candles embody all the joys and concerns which may have gone unspoken today, but are also deeply felt in this community. The first reading is the Karaniya Metta Sutta, the Buddhist words for loving kindness. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing, in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none go through anger or ill will, wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should we cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. In the midst of everything else that is going on outside of you, during our meditation today, I invite you to become quiet, peaceful, tranquil, to breathe deep, to let go so you can hear the silence within, and to find some center, some still point in the thick of it all. Let us enter the stillness. When love and compassion live within us and flow outward toward others, that is prayer in its truest form. And in the very act of sending love outward, we may find our own hearts quietly transformed. The second reading is a parable, Reverend Gyotto Haguri, from The Awareness of Self, A Guide to the Understanding of Shin Buddhism. When the siren of the fire truck wails far away and the sound disappears into the distance, you do not give it a second thought. But when the shrill sound of the siren approaches your neighborhood, you listen intently with your whole being. They're the same siren, but the implications are world apart. Now the words of the Buddha are like the sound of the siren coming your way and warning of the perils of the unreflected life. You must listen to the teachings with the same sense of urgency and involvement you show in listening to the cry of the approaching siren in the midnight air. Then the message of the Buddha will become part of you, and you will open the eyes of your heart to reality, serenity, and fullness. Let us remember the final words of the Buddha when he passed into nirvana. All things are constantly changing. Work out your salvation with diligence. Please stand in body or spirit and sing May Peace Prevail. Words by Kerry Kawamoto and music by Takio Kudo.
I wanted to mention to you, this song is not from our new virtual hymnal. In 2019, Janet and Joel and Randy and I were on Maui on vacation, and it was the weekend of the International Peace Festival, and we visited the Makawao Temple, and this hymn was sung that day at the service. And we approached Reverend Kerry afterwards, And we asked if we could have the hymn because it resonated so much to to us. And we made a friend in Reverend Kerry, and we got a beautiful hymn to sing with you all that we've sung before. And we made paper cranes, the peace cranes, and we ate Japanese foods. We had a lovely day. We did, we had a lovely day. So now we'll sing May Peace Prevail. Let peace live as we talk, with kindness in our voice, embracing Buddha's light. May peace, tranquility prevail throughout the world. Let peace live as we learn, with eyes that self-reflect, to always light our way. May peace, tranquility prevail throughout the world. Let peace live as we help, with praise of gratitude, connecting hearts and hands. May peace, tranquility prevail throughout the world. Let's talk with everyone. Let's learn from everyone, and out to everyone. That peace, tranquility may spread throughout the world. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Today's talk is titled "The Only Thing to Hate is Hate Itself," to be delivered by Reverend Kerry Kiyohara. Reverend Kerry Kiyohara is the resident minister of Ma Kuwao Buddhist Temple on Maui, serving Hampa Hangang Ji Mission of Hawaii. Kerry was Tokudo ordained in 2016 and graduated from Chuo Konin Seminary in Kyoto in 2018, receiving Kyoshi certification as a teacher in the Joju Shinzu Hong Wanji tradition. Kerry previously worked as an executive, consultant, and writer in Los Angeles, Tokyo, Beijing, Shanghai, and Honolulu. Kerry graduated with BA and MBA degrees from the University of Southern California. Kerry speaks American English natively, fluent professional Japanese, basic Spanish, survival Chinese, but struggles daily with Hawaiian Creole English. Da kain pidgin, ya? Kerry is married to Mimi, and they are delighted to be grandparents of a 14-year-old granddaughter and a 6-year-old grandson. Kerry.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Let's see, just audio check. I guess we're okay. And let's begin. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. The wisdom of the Buddha and the Metta Sutta, the Loving Kindness Sutra. Let's put our hands together, bow our heads, and reflect for a moment on the lives lost, the anguish of the loved ones left behind, and the fear and anxiety created by war, political violence, and senseless shootings across the nation and around the world. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Aloha mai kako, aloha for everyone. So this morning, I'd like to talk about the idea of hate and its resulting consequences that manifest in violence. Because as Buddhists, we stand against violence in all forms, based on the truth of non-self, on Atman, truly recognizing the interconnected and interdependent nature of all life, and thus following the principle of ahimsa, or non-harm to all life. Because the Buddha taught that when we cause harm to others, when we harm other living beings, or we cause harm to other living beings, this karma, this action, this reality, inevitably leads to harming ourselves. As Buddhists, we understand this truth and we aspire to living this unrepeatable life accordingly. But as human beings, born as human beings, we live in the real world of 2026 in America. So in the real world, politicians, the media, the rich and powerful, social media influencers seek to use human tragedy and suffering to advance political, profit, and personal agendas, and not address very real human suffering. So we are taught to blame the other for all of our problems, pain, and anxiety. We're told to convince ourselves we're the victims here. We're conditioned to think it's acceptable to discriminate against the other. They are the cause of all of our problems. And we are shown every day that it is profitable to promote hate the other. And so when politicians, the media, influencers, when they're successful in causing us to turn our hearts to the darkness of hate, which exists in all human beings, born human, it exists inside of us, that hate, it burns us from the inside. It forces us away from the heart of compassion and drives us into the heart of hate. So hate is one of the most powerful emotions and mental states that we as ordinary human beings experience. And just as easily, we can become addicted to. So we instinctively know that addiction to hate is not beneficial to our physical, mental, and spiritual health. And yet, hate is compelling, it's alluring, it's enticing. So as Buddhists, we seek guidance in the Dharma. I'm sorry, I have to go this side. So the wisdom of the Buddha. Hatred does not cease through hatred at any time. Hatred ceases through love. This is an unalterable law. The words of Gautama Buddha in the Dhammapada, this is verse number 5. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So it's said that the Buddha lived 2,500 years ago, approximately 5 centuries before Jesus of Nazareth. So this truth has been around for a while. This insight has been around for a while. Right? Hate can only be overcome by love. So this reality as it is, this Dharma, this truth, this law, it's undeniable. It's undeniable. We intuitively know this to be true. And so this truth, as taught by the Buddha more than 2,500 years ago, finds its expression in many languages, in many cultures, and by many people. Returning hate for hate multiplies hate, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. The wisdom of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Namo Amida Butsu. So, right, if we know this to be the truth, why do we continue to have violence against the other? Because in the real world of human confusion and delusion, this realm that we live in Buddhism, it's called samsara. in samsara, in this realm of human confusion and delusion, hate is much easier than love. So in the real world, the Buddha taught that it is human nature to seek the to blame the causes and conditions. So in the modern world, we blame, right, politicians who use racial, economic, and religious differences to divide, to create hate, to distract people from the world as it is, for political power. The extraordinarily wealthy, whose insatiable and all-consuming greed continues to drive economic inequality in society. So the media, both news and entertainment, if you think of it in that sense as the media, they know that conflict sells advertising space. And so, right, the media focuses on the drama of hate, confrontation, and violence. And influencers, right, they know that extreme anything, right, extreme sells on social media. You get views, you get people clicking on stuff, they share it. Right? And so they seek to exploit tragedy, they provoke violence, they normalize suffering for personal fame and fortune. As long as I get my money from YouTube, it really doesn't matter what consequences there are. We want to blame easy access to guns. We want to blame violent imagery and language in the media. Pornography that focuses on racial, sexual, gender, and identity stereotypes and scapegoating. We want to blame the unfiltered ability to hate, to express hate, to provoke hate without any real-world consequences, that's created by social media and the internet. You can basically say anything you want on social media, and there's no consequences. On the other hand, if you come in front of me and insult me, I'll punch you in the nose. Buddhists aren't supposed to do that, by the way. But in the real world, right, all of these causes and conditions can and must be addressed if America is to live up to its values, its aspirations, its dreams. So the long-term solution will take a shared commitment to doing what is right for all people, not just certain groups of people, through civil discourse, deliberation, and working together, right, to fix the breaches in our society. In the meantime, as Buddhists, should we rise up and protest and make our voices heard that hate in any form, violence against anyone and anything, and discrimination against any person is unacceptable? Yes, of course. As Buddhists, should we participate in the democratic process and make our voices heard, by our political and government leaders? Yes, of course. As Buddhists, should we vote? Should we encourage others to vote? Yes, of course. Will doing these things, right, making our voices heard, will our protests, resistance, and passion, will it change the world? Will trying to do something make us feel better, even if it produces no immediate results? The very realistic and Buddhist answer is maybe, right? Which, of course, is a very unsatisfactory answer. Our ego self thinks, if I can't change the world, what's the point of trying, right? If I can't change the world, I might as well just give up, right? What's the point of trying? So it's very easy and very human to convince oneself into doing nothing, saying nothing, caring about nothing. So as Shin Buddhists, as honorable friends and fellow travelers on the path of Nembutsu, mindfulness of the Buddha Amida, in all aspects of our life, we strive to balance the secular world and the real world. So this world of human confusion and delusion, and the world of spiritual truth, the heart of absolute compassion, and the mind of non-discrimination. So as Buddhists, we go to the Dharma, we go to the teachings for guidance. Shinran Shonin, the founder of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, lived during a time of great social and political upheaval, civil wars and breakdown of the class structure, pandemics, and famine. So this is the 12th and 13th centuries. When Shinran reflects upon himself and when he reflects upon his faith in the real world of the 12th and 13th centuries in Japan, he realizes this. I know nothing at all of good and evil, for if I could know thoroughly, as Amida Tathagata knows, that an act was good, then I would know good, If I could know thoroughly, as the Tathagata knows, that an act was evil, then I would know evil. But with the foolish being full of blind passions, in this fleeting world, this burning house, all matters without exception are empty and false, totally without truth and sincerity. The Nembutsu alone is true and real. The wisdom of Shinran Shonin, quoted in the Tanisho, a record of lament of divergences, which is found in the collected works of Shinran, Volume 1, page 679. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Oh, sorry, I didn't change the slide on the second part there. So in modern, excuse me, in modern language, there's a secular truth. So there's moral, good and evil in the sense of Judeo-Christian sin against the law of God. The law of God. In the modern world, right, there's legal and illegal as defined by the laws created by human society. And then there is spiritual truth, separate from secular truth, separate from the real world, but existing simultaneously. So in this passage, Shinran is referring to karmic good and evil, not moral good and evil, but rather the consequences of our thoughts and words and actions. Shinran urges us to recognize that we are a foolish being full of blind passions. We're simply ordinary human beings living in the modern world. So we're easily led to hate people who are different from us. We're compulsively driven by our self-centered greed. And we willfully ignore the Dharma. We ignore reality as it is. Quote, in this fleeting world, this burning house, all matters without exception are empty and false, totally without truth and sincerity. The Nembutsu alone is true and real. So Shinran is not saying that the real world is irrelevant to our lives. We live in the real world. Shinran's not saying turn your back on suffering or disengage from the real world. Shinran is simply teaching us, is simply saying, we first receive the faith of Shinjin, the entrusting heart, and rely upon it, and then share that faith with other people. Because having done that, having settled your birth into the Pure Land, becoming a Buddha, and returning in this world in oneness with Amida Buddha, then, right, in this body, in this life, we're free to change the real world because we know it's fleeting, it's transient, it's a burning house, right, in which all is without truth and sincerity. So, historical fact, Shinran, the founder of the Jodo Shinshu Honganji tradition, and his great teacher, many of the great teacher's disciples and followers of the Jodo Pure Land Way, they were prosecuted, they were persecuted and punished and exiled by the government, right, who was prompted by the established Buddhist schools at the time. Right? So Shinran, our founder, was stripped of his license to be a priest. He was given a name that immediately identifies him as a convicted criminal. And he was exiled to the remote areas of Japan, far away from the life he had previously in Kyoto, the center of power in Japan at the time. And yet, he continued to teach, to share the truth of what he had found in Namo Amida Butsu, in the Nembutsu, in this mindfulness of Amida in all aspects of our life. He shared the truth of how to live this unrepeatable life to the fullest in the midst of human confusion and delusion. Now, was he angry about the treatment of his great teacher, about what happened to him and the other disciples? 4 disciples were executed, by the way. And the disparagement of the Pure Land Way of Shin Buddhism as, that's not Buddhism, that's heresy. Yes, of course he was angry. There are many writings of Shinran when he was highly critical of the Buddhist establishment of the time and the hypocrisy of the priests in pushing for the ban on the Nembutsu teachings and the Jodo Pure Land sect, the execution of the disciples, and the exile of Honen and others. And in fact, the Kyogyo Shinsho, so Shinran's master work, is a comprehensive academic defense of the doctrine of Jodo Shinshu, of the Pure Land Way, and the teachings of his great teacher. So Shinran could have easily used his growing popularity among the masses, right, for personal gain. Right? He could have turned it into a mega church, I guess is the term we use nowadays, making millions of dollars. But he did not. He did not. He simply devoted his life to teaching the true essence, the Shinshu, of the Jodo Pure Land Way through his writings, letters to laypersons, and sharing the teachings with everyone and anyone he met in his travel, regardless of position, power, wealth, education, or social status. So what would Shinran do if he were alive today? Would Shinran, react in anger with hatred and seek to blame the other for the challenges, the many challenges we face today? No, Shinran would not. Shinran would simply rely upon the faith of Shinjin, Namu Amida Butsu, the heart, the entrusting heart, and continue to share the path of Nembutsu mindfulness of Amida. Shinran would continue to change the world in his own way. Now me, on the other hand, I'm a different story. I'm a third-generation California Sansei. I'm a third-generation Japanese American, and I grew up in Los Angeles of the 1960s. And my very human instinct is to react to today's political rhetoric, the political violence, the hate espoused by politicians, by media, by influencers. I feel like I should respond back with my own hatred, with my own violent thoughts, words, and actions. Resist, protest, overthrow the government. You have to be careful about what you say on social media. That was, in quotes, it's an ironic statement. But realistically, right, I know I don't have the skills, the energy, or passion to organize resistance and revolution against the President of the United States. But my ego is such that trying to do that might make me feel better, for having tried. With my individual efforts to solve the fundamental problem of human nature, people hating people because they're different and thus making them the other? No. Guided by Shinran's wisdom, we must first recognize that we each have our own aversions, biases, and prejudices. It is our human nature to fear and thus hate the other because they're different from us. We must learn the only thing to hate is hate itself. So illuminated by Amida's light of infinite compassion, Amida's great compassion, great wisdom, this awakens our heart of compassion, and we seek to understand the other, to alleviate the suffering of all people, to overcome hate with love. So embraced by kindness and gratitude beyond words, embraced by Amida Buddha, we must strive to return this kindness and gratitude by embracing others with kindness and gratitude. Is it easy? No, it's not easy to change the world, much less change myself. It's not easy to change myself. By myself, just as I am, I may not make a difference in the world, but I must try. I must try. So the strength and serenity to try and try and try again, right, come from truly accepting one's very human limitations, and at the same time truly experiencing the heart of compassion and the mind of non-discrimination of Amida Buddha working in one's unrepeatable life in the real world, in this real world that we live in of 2026 in America. So in the heart of compassion and the mind of non-discrimination are awakened in us through the faith of Shinjin, we're empowered to live each moment of this unrepeatable life with strength and serenity, because we know without a doubt the Nembutsu, mindfulness of Amida, the Nembutsu alone is true and real. Now, one modern criticism of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism is its apparent, otherworldly focus on settling birth into the Pure Land, becoming Buddha, and returning in oneness with Amida to this world to guide all beings to their birth in the Pure Land. That is to say, right, some people criticize Jodo Shinshu because we're not actively engaged in social justice in the real world, but rather, right, solely concerned with, quote unquote, the afterlife. But this is not necessarily true. Jodo Shinshu is vitally concerned with before death. right? So the afterlife and before death, but teaches that we must first settle our birth into the Pure Land by receiving gratefully the faith of Shinjin, Namo Amida Butsu. So when you're not worried about the afterlife, the existential question of what happens after I die, right? If you're not worried about the afterlife, you're completely free to do whatever you wish in the time you have left in this moment, right? Before death, before we leave, before we pass, and we can all accept the fact that it's inevitable. Eventually, we all reach the end of life. Right? But if you settled the question about what happens in the afterlife, you're free to do whatever you want right here, right now, in this moment of this day of an unrepeatable life. Right? And this is the simple truth of Jodo Shinshu, which is the most difficult of difficulties. The answer is always Namo Amida Butsu. It's always Amida Buddha. So the essence of Shin Buddhism, as taught by Shinran Shonin, is the faith of Shinjin, right? Kindness and gratitude beyond words, transforming our all too human hearts and minds so that we are empowered to respond in gratitude to this unrepeatable life as it unfolds naturally, just as we are. To put it in local terms, just say mahalo. Just say thank you, thank you, thank you. No matter what happens today, right? Each moment of this unrepeatable day, of an unrepeatable life, right? Just say thank you. Just say mahalo, mahalo. So mahalo for listening this morning, and may your day be filled with aloha. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Buddha, entrusting in kindness and gratitude beyond words. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo.
The morning offering will now be given and received. Please remember we are a self-sustaining congregation and provide all financial resources for our many ministries. We recognize the spiritual value of generosity and invite you to participate. If you are viewing this service remotely, please use one of the methods shown on this screen. And thank you for your generosity. Our thanks for all the gifts given and received, and for the work in this community. Great choice of music. Please stand in body and our spirit and sing the closing hymn, For the Beauty of the Earth. Hymn number 21.
Over and around
As we prepare to extinguish the chalice, let us recite the valediction. It is our work shared with each other in covenant that creates and sustains this beautiful community. We extinguish this chalice as the light of this faith lives on in us together, in our hearts, minds, bodies, and spirits. Please extinguish your chalice at home now. Now let's form a circle and join hands. Reverend Kerry?
The words of Prince Shotoku on the importance of living together in harmony and peace. Let us cease from wrath and refrain from angry looks, nor let us be resentful when others differ from us. For all people have hearts, and each heart has its own leanings. Their right is our wrong, and our right is their wrong. We are not unquestionably sages, nor are they unquestionably fools. Both of us are simply ordinary people. How can any person lay down a rule by which to distinguish right from wrong? For we are all one with another, wise and foolish, like a ring which has no end. The wisdom of Prince Shotoku in Article 10 of his 17-article Constitution. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. May peace be with you.